welcome to our weekly video, and today I have a question for you because I'm going to ask you what is an asset and what's a liability. And in theory it's quite an easy question to ask because most accountants will explain it this way. An asset is something you buy and you keep, and a liability is something that you buy but you buy it on debt, and therefore you owe someone some money and therefore it's a liability. So let's take an example. You buy a car, it sits in your driveway, it's an asset. If you buy a car and you buy it on debt, you've got an asset, which is the car, and then you've got a liability, which is the debt. But I'm going to give you another alternative example of what an asset is and what a liability is. So the alternative is you buy an asset, but it's only considered an asset if it's generating income for you. And a liability is something A, which is debt driven, or B, which costs you money. So let's take the example of the car again. Yes, you've purchased something, it's a car, it sits on your driveway, but it's not generating any income for you, therefore it's not an asset. On the other hand, the car is costing you money, i.e. it's costing you fuel. If you're borrowing on it, it's costing you debt, it's costing you running costs. Therefore, it can be considered a liability. Okay, now let's take that same vehicle and say it was a ute. Well, it's actually generating income for you. Yes, it's got associated costs with you, but that could be considered an asset. Now, if you take that definition a bit more further down the line, technically, if you look at your house, it could be considered a liability, not an asset, because your house doesn't generate any income for you. Yes, it might generate a capital gain some down the line, but it's not generating any income right now. But at the same time, it's costing you money to keep it. And the bigger your home, the more expenses it takes to run it. Now, I'm not saying have one or the other, okay? I'm not saying choose that definition or this definition. Just be aware that there are two types of definition, and depending on how you think, it will determine whether you buy certain assets or not. I hope that was useful. Thank you very much and have a great week.